Now at 5, how some Baxter Springs parents feel about the district's 4-day school week. Plus, a Joplin-based band goes overseas to take part in a European tour. And
a growing list of Republicans jump in the House Speaker race. I'm Skylar Henry on Capitol Hill with what comes next and the work staring lawmakers in the face.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
the Baxter Springs, Kansas School District is adjusting to a 4-day school week, Tuesday through Friday. This is KOAM News at 5. I'm Dow Quick. Last year, the community voted in favor of the 4-day school week to be implemented for this school year. The transition is part of the recruitment and retention plan for staff. The district superintendent says the new schedule now gives staff a choice to make up hours or rest. And it's not just the staff that's adjusting to this new schedule.
I think that it's taken a little bit of pressure off of her also to have that extra day off. She can use it to catch up on homework. She can use it for sports. She can just hang out with mom.
By the time that they get out from the extended day that they're currently having, it's about 7 o'clock before they get out of their sports programs for the day.
School officials say they're going to know more in depth about how students are adjusting when benchmark scores come in. Much of northeast Oklahoma has battled contamination from old mining waste known as chat for decades. Well, today the Quapaw Nation marks 10 years of a project intended to preserve historic structures, artifacts, and landscape features while that chat was removed. A commemoration event today celebrates successes of that project. It began in 2013 when an agreement allowed the Quapaw Nation to work with the EPA during the chat cleanup in the Tar Creek Superfund site.
Healing their land and they're healing their home, that vested interest they have. This is their land forever. They were given this, it was set aside for them, and it's going to be theirs forever. So we're the ones at stake in partnership with the EPA and the state to do this until it's done.
This was the first tribally managed Superfund site cleanup in the U.S. The cleanup project is expected to continue for decades. Joplin-based band Fox Royale is going on tour with Young the Giant in Europe. Brothers Nathan and Caleb Hurley are the founding members of the alternative band, which launched into the music industry in 2020. Since then, they've played as many shows as they could secure, whether local or otherwise. Getting a call from Young the Giant was not something the band saw coming.
We'd never opened for a band on tour before. So we've pitched for tons of bands and we've gotten a no, really often, because we're not big enough. So to get our first support slot, be Young the Giant in other countries, was kind of mind-blowing.
According to band members, this opportunity is already opening doors for their music careers. We've gotten some rain. Some of us could get more. Let's check in with meteorologist Sam Lane.
Thank you very much, Dale. Yeah, we had the first wave of showers and rain this morning, now moving over into southeastern Missouri. But here comes the second round, producing lots of severe weather in central and southern Oklahoma this evening. Lots of severe thunderstorm watches and warnings out for the Oklahoma City area right now. Zooming in into our local area, we do have a few scattered showers or sprinkles between Edna and Chatopa, right on the Oklahoma-Kansas line. But we're going to see the rain increase as we go through the overnight hours. Temperatures are going to be dropping from the 70s into the 60s, with that rain developing this evening, mainly after midnight, with a low of 63. And looking down the lane, we're going to have scattered storms tonight with some clearing skies tomorrow and a cool Friday. And what's it said about a frosty Saturday morning? I'll have all the chilly details on that coming up in just a bit.
See you soon. Congressman Kevin McCarthy became the first Speaker of the House to be voted out of leadership in U.S. history. Well, now the House can't do any business on the floor until lawmakers elect a new Speaker. Skylar Henry has more details on what appears to be a two-man race.
Less than 24 hours after the House voted to oust Kevin McCarthy as Speaker, the race to replace him is shaping up.
Right now I've been obviously listening to a lot of members and having a lot of really good conversations about how we keep focusing on the things we need to do to get our country back on track.
Louisiana Congressman Steve Scalise, a McCarthy ally who's already serving as majority leader, is running as the establishment candidate. Ohio Congressman Jim Jordan, a conservative hardliner, was the first to jump in the race.
I think the key is uniting the conference. I've had a lot of people reach out to us asking me to do it. They think we can. We'll see if that happens, but I think they can.
Republican Study Committee Chairman Kevin Hern is also making a bid for the Speaker's gavel.
People have asked me about looking at alternate choice, and so I'm going around talking about this issue with other groups of people and see if their votes are there.
And others may jump in before the first vote's expected next week.
Until then, every day that passes is one less day Congress has to pass a long-term spending bill to keep the government open before the short-term fix expires.
We cannot and should not again be faced with an 11th hour decision on brinksmanship that threatens to shut down the government.
Neither President Biden nor former President Trump would weigh in on who should be the next speaker.
A lot of people have been calling me about Speaker. All I can say is we'll do whatever's best for the country and for the Republican Party.
Some House Republicans want to nominate Trump for the position, but he's got his eyes set on another political office. Skyler Henry, CBS News, Capitol Hill.
Now, in a nod to those who support him in the House, Trump posted a mocked-up picture of himself on social media wearing a MAGA hat and holding the Speaker's gavel. Catholic bishops from all around the world are gathering in Rome to discuss major controversies like female priests and the Church's responses to its gay members. It's a month-long closed-door meeting known as a synod. For the first time in history, women and lay people will be allowed to vote. Other hot-button issues include whether divorced and remarried Catholics can receive communion and whether priests should be allowed to marry. Still ahead, another massive strike.
Tens of thousands of healthcare workers have walked off the job. I'm Danya Backus with why they are striking.
And next in Health Watch, why health experts are worried climate change could make headaches and migraines worse. Topping today's Health Watch, the pandemic fueled more spending on mental health services for young people. A new analysis of data from insurance shows spending rose by 26% from March of 2020 to August of 2022. Those 19 and younger being treated for ADHD, anxiety disorders, and adjustment disorder accounted for most visits and spending. Concerns about climate change often focus on rising seas and warming temperatures, but some doctors are warning about its effect on our health, including migraines and headaches. Nearly 1 in 10 people worldwide suffer from migraines. Bradley Blackburn has more on how a changing climate could mean more pain for a lot of patients.
Straight ahead from him. Nettie Alvarado knows how debilitating migraines can be. She's suffered from them for more than a decade before her daughter was born.
She says, "Mom, you're in your room, it's dark. Are you okay? Like, are you having a migraine?"
Her migraines used to last for days.
Good, shrug your shoulders up.
But she's found relief with medication and help from Dr. Fred Cohen, a headache specialist at Mount Sinai.
It actually eliminates within time. Within the hour and a half or so, it's gone.
Many things trigger migraines, like lack of sleep or alcohol use. But Dr. Cohen says often patients blame the weather, and extreme conditions fueled by climate change are now an increasing concern.
Migraine sufferers are the best meteorologists because when there's a weather system changing, they get an attack.
Weather triggers include intense heat or cold, high humidity, and windy or stormy conditions. Even stress from severe weather can be a factor.
There could be a relationship with more of these severe weather phenomenon that we're seeing both the United States and globally, and an increase in headache and migraine attacks.
Dr. Cohen says during this summer's wildfire smoke in the Northeast, headache complaints jumped.
But treatments for migraines are evolving too, with new approaches and new medications. Doctors can help patients monitor migraine triggers and adapt to environmental changes.
Alvarado says anyone who's suffering should see a doctor and ask for help.
Migraines are not something that you should have to deal with on an everyday basis or even throughout the day.
A health struggle that could be growing with our changing climate. Bradley Blackburn, CBS News, New York.
The American Migraine Foundation says migraines are 3 times more common in women than in men. And 1 in 4 U.S. households includes someone who suffers with migraines. And that is a look at today's health news. A little bit later, our Pet Vet On Call.
Hi, I'm Dr. Eva Dudek from Parsons Pet Hospital. Coming up, we're going to talk about how is it that some dogs just love babies.
Round 2 of the showers and thunderstorms is on its way, along with some cold air for the weekend. I'll have the forecast when we come back. Well, friends, it's been a wet Wednesday so far, especially with the round of showers and storms this morning, dumping quite a bit of rain, especially in our southern areas. Right now, we're just left with cloudy skies, including Seneca, Missouri, the Indigo Sky Casino and Resort, with lots of clouds in the background and thunderstorms back towards the south and west. This afternoon, we made it up to 77, which was only a little bit above normal of 75 and 52. Of course, we were way above on the low, but look at the rainfall. We're already ahead for the month of October, and that's a good thing to see, as we are still way behind for the year at about 10 inches right now. Taking a look at radar, we do have a few scattered showers off towards our west, but bigger storms are developing back down to the south and west in central and southern Oklahoma, where there's lots of lightning activity, severe thunderstorm watches and warnings in effect for that area. This is all advancing towards the north and east, so we're going to see the rain developing back into our area as we go into the overnight hours. The first round of rain this morning produced quite a bit of rain, especially in southern Berry County, south of Cassville, and also down into McDonald County and northern parts of Delaware County. Areas to the north and west, not so much. They had a little bit of rain, but not enough, that's for sure. Temperatures right now are generally warm out towards the west, with temperatures in the mid to upper 80s, like Sedan with 86 right now, but off to the east where it's still rain-cooled air, 71 in Cassville and 72 for our friends over there in Monette. Rain chances are going to be around 20 to 30% tonight, and then dropping off as we go into the morning hours, and by tomorrow we'll be seeing readings pretty close to zero as far as rain chances. Severe weather is going to be mainly in southwestern and north central Texas up into southwestern Oklahoma. A marginal risk exists for our area, but not really expecting a lot in the way of severe weather, and that's good news. We don't need any severe weather. We do need the rain though. And here's a look at the forecast as far as rainfall amounts. Some areas could pick up an additional inch or so, especially along and south of I-44, and that's on the GFS model. The European model also has the best chance of heavier precipitation tonight along and south of I-44, but hopefully the folks up to the north and west will also see a few scattered showers as well. Here's the forecast as we go through time. You can see by 11:30 tonight, the bulk of the precipitation will be down in southeastern parts of our viewing area, but as we go into the overnight hours, we'll see another developing area of showers and storms, and by morning, we'll see that mainly shifting into southeastern Oklahoma with lows in the 50s up to the north and west, and then tomorrow afternoon, clearing skies with temperatures in the upper 70s, maybe even some low 80s out to the west. But then as we go into Friday morning, we're going to see lows generally in the 40s and 50s with northeasterly winds, maybe a few showers up towards the north. Friday afternoon looks pretty nice, also quite cool, generally in the mid 60s across the area. But check Saturday morning out. Lows in the 30s, even some low 30s off to the east, like around Monette with 34. So wouldn't be surprised to see some patchy frost across our area as we go into Saturday morning. Looking at the larger picture, here's the storm system tonight rapidly pulling away. Then the cool air comes in from the north, and then eventually that will shift off towards the east as we wait the next storm system, which won't arrive here until about Wednesday and Thursday of next week. In fact, here's a look at the 7-day forecast. 40% chance of showers tonight, and then much cooler as we go into Friday and Saturday with that low of 37 and then 39 on Sunday, then a slow warm up, and then another storm system on Thursday and Friday of next week.
Yeah, Saturday a high of only 63.
Can you believe it? That is sweater weather right there.
Yes, it is, and I'm looking forward to sweater
Me
weather.
too.
Thanks, Sam. Coming up, how Google is trying to crack down on companies sending spam emails. Topping today's Consumer Watch, healthcare workers in at least 5 states and the District of Columbia have walked off the job in what could become the largest healthcare strike in recent U.S. memory. The Kaiser Permanente Health System employees' contract expired last weekend. Danya Bacchus has the latest.
From Springfield, Virginia to Los Angeles, around 75,000 Kaiser Permanente healthcare workers hit the picket lines early this morning.
We're not going to sit back and, be mistreated, allow our patients to be mistreated.
The strike affects Kaiser Permanente facilities in California, Oregon, Washington State, Virginia, Colorado, and Washington, D.C. Vocational nurses, x-ray and lab technicians, surgical, pharmacy, and emergency department employees are among those off the job.
We help support the nurses and the doctors, so we're a vital part of the care team.
Striking workers are fighting for higher wages.
I can't live paycheck to paycheck anymore.
And help resolving staffing shortages.
Having to juggle numerous patients at the same time, That increases patient wait time, puts doctors behind, puts patients behind. They don't get a chance to get the care that they actually need.
Kaiser Permanente's contract with the coalition of unions expired Saturday. These striking workers say they're prepared to stay out here for 3 days if necessary.
The hospital system released a statement early today saying both Kaiser Permanente management and coalition union representatives are still at the bargaining table in an effort to reach an agreement.
The hope is to have a resolution today so that all these people that take great care of the patients can get back to doing what we do best, which is taking care of the patient.
Kaiser hospitals and emergency rooms remain open during the strike, but some procedures and lab or x-ray results could be delayed. Danya Backus, CBS News, Los Angeles.
Kaiser Permanente says it leads in total compensation in every market it operates with great benefits packages. Google is making some changes to help reduce spam. It's adding new requirements for bulk senders, defined as those who send more than 5,000 messages to Gmail addresses in a day. That includes authenticating their addresses and staying below a clear spam rate threshold. Everyone understands the Big Mac you see on TV isn't the one you're likely to get at your local McDonald's. That's what a federal judge essentially said when he dismissed a lawsuit against McDonald's and Wendy's. Lawyers accused the chains of misleading the public by using undercooked patties before they're fully cooked and shrink in advertisements. The judge disagreed. Our pet vet on call next. Up next on the CBS Evening News, how a lot of electric vehicle investments are going to a part of the country you might not expect. Then on KOAM News at 6, we're going to have more on the issues some parents have with the Baxter Springs 4-day school week. Plus, why Kansas Governor Laura Kelly stopped by Ascension Via Christi Hospital in Pittsburgh. And we're going to check out a new play area at Joplin's Souls Harbor. Stay with us for the CBS Evening News and then KOAM News at 6. Today's question for our pet vet on call concerns a common dog behavior. Every dog I've ever owned seems to sense that it needs to be very gentle around babies and young children. How is that possible?
Well, there are definitely breeds that are notorious for being patient and kind and love babies. So that's something you can research. There are also individuals that tend to love babies, just like people. Some of us do, some of us don't. But most of it is how they are raised. If they are included in your family structure, if they're expected to have the same rules as everybody else, if they are loved, they will find anything that you find important will be meaningful to them. That's how you can tell. And you are obviously one of those kind of people. You can come to my campfire anytime.
We invite questions from anyone. If you have a question, you just send it to petvet@koamtv.com. Dr. Eva Dudek from the Parsons Pet Hospital answers a different question or brings us a fun fact every Wednesday on KOAM News at 5. You can also find answers to previous questions on our website. All right, let's check out our picks of the litter for the week. From the Joplin Humane Society, we have Eenie, a male short-haired kitten, an eeny-meeny one. And from the Southeast Kansas Humane Society, we have Clifford, not a big red dog. The shelter says he's a 4-year-old American Blue Heeler mix. If you're looking for a pet, why not check out your local Humane Society? It's going to be chilly to take the pets out for a walk by the weekend.
That's exactly right. We have some rain to go through tonight first, and then cooler and chillier air by the time we go into Saturday morning with a low of 37 and then 63 on Saturday afternoon, and then nice weather into the early part of next week as we begin a slow warm up. But then another round of storms comes in Thursday and Friday of next week. But as long as we continue to get these rounds of rain, that's a good thing.
Yes, we need it for sure. The whole area does. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you right back here at 6. Let's make it a great evening.